What's going on, Herd? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be covering the top 10 drift locations in Freemode. Just a quick disclaimer, guys, this is an opinionated video. This does not have to be your opinion. This is simply my opinion. If I did for some reason forget your favorite location or one of your favorite locations, comment below, let me know. Number 10, the Korean restaurant. I know you guys have seen me come to this location a few times before. I know I've been asked where this location is. You might be thinking this is a tiny location to make a top 10. It is, but I'm also linking up the apartment lots that are across the way. So let's start here at the Korean restaurant. The Korean restaurant has a nice elevation change. It's kind of a bumpy lot too, so it takes a little bit of skill to really link it up, especially with that drift where you're going downwards. Now you can do this in reverse as well, but it's quite a bit tougher because when you're going to go up the hill and drift around the corner, the vehicle's going so slow it doesn't really want to link that all the time. The Korean restaurant, very, very small, yes, but a lot of fun. It gives you that unique instability, if you will, where it's got the bumps and it's got the elevation change. Of course, as drifters, we kind of want new things to switch it up here and there, and this is kind of one of those things I like to revisit every now and again. Attached to the Korean restaurant, we do have the apartment lots. It's just kind of a basic apartment, but really it's right out of the exit of the Korean lot. And then once combining them, they did manage to make a top 10 slot. Number 9, the casino lot and back pass. The casino lot itself is usually pretty trafficked, but it does allow a lot of side to side. If you really want my opinion, it kind of reminds me of the Forza Horizon 3 lot a little bit. I know it's completely different, the layout's completely different, but the way it is, and if you were able to kind of pull all of the dang traffic out of it, it would be really similar. I get those vibes at the casino lot, but attached to the casino lot is also the back pass. It goes around, it goes down, there's a slight elevation change, goes underneath the tunnel, and it goes back to in the middle of the racetrack. Adding that little back pass line onto the casino lot definitely got itself the 9th position in the top 10 list. Number 8, the Vinewood Bowl. The Vinewood Bowl is another one I'm sure a lot of you have seen on the channel, especially if you watch the older events that we held 2-3 years ago, maybe even going into 4 years ago now. We would usually meet up at this location on the map. It's kind of fun because there's a huge jump drift. This is another one where, the traffic kind of sucks. Unless you have a bunch of guys there constantly keeping the vehicles rendered in, even when you move the vehicles, sometimes there's vehicles there again. Kind of one of them tough ones because it's such a long pass. The game will render in and out if it's only you and another person, especially if you're tandeming, or you just solo for that matter. Nonetheless, this does leave a number of different lines you can do, have a lot of fun, a couple different jump drifts, or at least a couple different jump drift opportunities, I should say, all coming off that same little lip. All in all, kind of an old school drift location, but definitely a fun one, making top 8. Number 7, the Drift Park. The Drift Park is a rare location. You don't see people feature this one. Now, it's because a lot of people don't like this location. It's got speed bumps. It's extremely tight. But I really think this gives an extremely unique feel on the map. I really wanted to move this thing up higher, but it's tough because when you come out of both sides of the line, if you will, there's traffic there constantly, and it seems like every time you go into the one part of the map, there's always 1 or 2 pedestrians spawning in. So it's really hard to keep a perfect line. Now, this is a very difficult location too. This is not your beginner location. It's, like I said earlier, it's very tight. There's a lot of bumps. It really kind of reminds, if you guys remember Haggard Garage before they broke up, that compound that they used to go to, that old, like, whatever, I don't know, go-kart track or whatever it was. It kind of reminds me of that, but obviously with elevation change. And I wish I could have got this thing up higher on the list, but again, I did try to keep every aspect in account with these things. Top 7 the Drift Park got. Number 6, the LSIA Underpass. The Underpass lot is a lot of fun. Obviously, the Underpass lot being underneath the pass over the highway passing over. And it's a really long drift. Some vehicles are not really going to be so great at this location, but it's very, very rewarding when you get this one down. And it's such a small little loop that it's very, very fluid as well. You can take it the one way, you can take it the other way. The one way to me is a little bit easier than the other, but that's just, everybody's a little bit different. This one, again, it's very smooth and it's a lot of fun. So you kind of want to move it higher, but all one elevation. It's a small area, and you got to kind of keep everything in account again. So number 6 for this location. Number 5, the Stadium Overfill lots. The Overfill lots at the stadium are very cool. It's 2 of them. They're linked together by a little tunnel system. Again, if you watch any of the older drift events where we had the public drift events, we have visited this very frequently. This is pretty much between the Vinewood Bowl and this. These were the 2 main locations we would head to. This is a lot of fun because it's a very, very minor jump drift. You can have a number of different lines. You can go one way, you can go backwards. It leaves a lot of opportunities. You would think that this one would be a top 3 location just because it is large. It does have that little bit of a jump drift. But then again, there's not much for elevation change other than that little jump drift and then coming out of the basically coming in and out of that tunnel, you have the little bit of elevation change. And when you compare it to some of the others that made top 4 on this list, this is a much smaller location. I really like this spot a lot. I'll always be returning to it, but again, only making number 5 on this list. Number 4, LSIA. LSIA is an extremely open map. Yes, it is all one elevation, but if you have any type of imagination, you can make quite a number of different lines, possibly endless lines in this location. It's huge. Yes, you have some security guards there. Yes, you can't get away with shooting and stancing your car in every position on there, but all in all, it is a great location. You got really long drifts that you can put together. You have a ton of open ground, so if you're trying to learn how to drift, this is a great place to visit, great place to practice. Even when you get skilled, there's a lot of tight-knit areas that you can kind of come up with lines yourself. I know I found a couple different places that I had a lot of fun just kind of messing around, kind of lost track of time on how much I was spending on the dang thing. You kind of forget about the airport because it was such a basic spot. Again, a great spot to learn how to build tracks too, especially if you're just putting in basic barriers and you want all one elevation, a great spot to learn. LSIA is an awesome drift spot, no doubt about it, but it still, again, is only coming in at number 4. Number 3, the military base. I feel like the military base is probably, aside from the drift park probably, because I don't think a lot of people know about that one, but the most overlooked drift location on the map. Now, some people are saying, well, is there even anything really to drift there? Well, if you're going to compare it to LSIA, that just scored a number 4, you have a few different really tight corners where you can take it. I was failing to get them because I didn't want to spend a half hour on every location here for the video, but you can get a lot of really long slides where you kind of have to thread the needle and get through these certain areas, which it makes it a lot of fun for more skilled drifters. If you're not such a skilled drifter, you don't want to go for those totaling out your vehicle areas. There's a parking lot up front that has a really cool raised up area, and it kind of just, it's a different atmosphere there. You got tanks rolling around, you got vehicles, and that brings us into the point on why it's not getting top 2. There's a bunch of soldiers running around, and if you do tick any of them off, it's not just 1 or 2 stars, you get 4 stars automatically, and well, that kind of ruins your drifting right off the bat. It only scored a top 3 with lesser security at the military base, of course, which isn't realistic. It hypothetically could have scored higher, but only coming in number 3 on this list. Number 2, the docks. The docks. I mean, everybody goes to the dang docks, right? It's a very, very popular drifting location. Again, a very old school drifting location. It leaves a lot of opportunities again. There's some tighter areas where you can get in, but really all in all, it's blocked out to where it's kind of just one set drift style the whole time, if that's how you want it to do. Side to side to side. You can manji to get a couple crate blocks down and whip it around, but all in all, it's kind of repetitive. I like the spot a lot. I probably feel like it's repetitive because I think most of the people that have been drifting in this game for 2, 3, 4, 5 years have laid plenty of rubber down at the docks. It's great, but again, it's all one elevation. There is security guards too, so if you do piss them off, you do run into them, you will get a star on you. A bit tougher to stance your vehicle down there. Sometimes you got to pre-stance at a different area or just have Lester on hand. But just like pretty much anywhere on the map, you can get away with stancing down there. A great spot for sure, but only coming in number 2. So this is the part of the video here, guys, where I would usually give you a bunch of honorable mentions. The thing is there's like 7 or 8 more spots that I could add into this, but I was trying to be very meticulous with why I ranked number 1, and why I ranked number 10, and everything in between. I wanted to have reasons for everything, and I wanted to make sure that number 3 was better than number 4, and so on and so forth. These other 7, I don't really want to take the time to have to judge them all and, you know, get down meticulous with them, but if you guys do enjoy this video, leave a like below, and we will definitely get you another video coming out of the honorable mentions. 6, 7, maybe 8 or 9 locations in addition to these ones that you guys can also visit and have some fun with in Freemode. With all that said, that's going to bring us into the number 1 spot of this list. Number 1, the Pier. Now you might be saying, man, this is a tiny location. Why is this getting number 1? Well, this is an extremely unique location. There's a reason why you see a lot of Instagram clips on this, or you used to anyways. There's pretty much a reason why every YouTuber that's doing GTA drifting has been to this location and made some clips, or at least drifted the hell out of this location. The terrain, what you're drifting on, that plank terrain, the material that you're drifting on there on the pier, it is one of the slipperiest in the game. Some people say it's very, very comparable to basically what we as creators kind of call the plank props. Kind of sounds like wood while you're driving on them, the sideways track, upside down stunt track. You can't find this in Freemode anywhere other than on the large piers, and this is the only pier that we're really able to get a vehicle out and drift on. Now on top of that, yes, it's very slick, it's a lot of fun to drift, but you'll see a bunch of people, most people, utilizing the hill, coming down the hill, doing reverse entries, doing super long sideways entries, just having a good time, making everything look smooth. It's a lot harder than it looks, of course. Again, guys, I appreciate every single one of you tuning in, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing the videos. If you're sharing the videos, if I missed anything, any one of your favorite spots, let me know below. But I'm sure there's a high potential that they're in the honorable mentions list. If they are not, though, I will check them out. Leave a like below and comment below. Do you want to see the honorable mentions video? Did you enjoy this one? Do you want to see more? Thank you, everybody. I greatly appreciate you. I know this coronavirus stuff is throwing me all out of whack. It's throwing a lot of people out of whack. Yeah, I don't even want to get into that right now. I think we've been hearing plenty about it. We will end it there. As always, guys, I hope you all stay happy out there. Please stay positive, and we will definitely speak to you next time.